This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham, and I've got Adrianna Michelle with me. Thanks for joining us, Adrianna.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Now, you join us so often and you talk about your own journey with your heart transplants and everything like that, but you are so supportive of so many other people. And actually, today we're talking about Men's Mental Health Month, which is June.
Yes, absolutely. So again, we talk about a lot of mindset stuff on the show and how we can self-improve ourselves. And something that's really coming to light more as time goes on is how much men are really struggling. Like it's starting to um, like people are starting to become more aware of it, but personally I see so much of it that it's not even funny. I grew up in the country. I was always into trucks, and I had a very, very, very tomboyish side of myself. And I always found around me, a lot of my guy friends would actually open up and talk to me about certain things that were going on in their life. And this is something that's, it was happening since high school. And I think it's society, like the way that, things that were kind of brought up back in the day is that so many men feel the need to suppress their emotions and that they have to be tough and they have to be the provider and they have to be all of these things, that they never take in accountability that they are also someone who needs to be taken care of. And as the saying goes, like you can't fill up others' cup if your cup is empty. And it's so unfortunate, but so many suicides these days are actually from men, and only 30% of them will ever go to therapy, which is like it's so unfortunate. Like only 30% will go, and again, I think that's just so linked to how we're brought up in our programming and what we've grown up with, right? So um, I always make it a point that, with anyone in general, like men, male or female, is that anyone can come to me and talk to me about stuff. It doesn't have to be within a session. And there's a really good name for it. It's called just holding space for someone. And it's just allowing that person to discuss whatever is on their mind, and just letting them know that it's okay to let out whatever is going on before it results in something harmful to themselves or others. Um, and again, for anyone, but for men, I think that substance abuse is more higher from my experience. And I think trauma is the biggest gateway to that, because it's so easy to numb the pain and go to the liquor store or do whatever you're going to do to numb the pain instead of just sitting with it and working through it. And it's so unfortunate because so many people's potential gets lost in numbing the pain. And that's why I do what I do, is so that we can uncover what's really going on, because so many times our programming and our thought processes, they don't even belong to us. Like it's programming that we've been brought up with. And so I think it's so important to find your own way in life and to really get to know yourself on a deeper level. I always say that there's nothing more powerful than being able to pinpoint where your trauma came from and moving forward and being able to move forward with grace and build a beautiful life for yourself without holding on all to the baggage of the past, right? So it's so important to take care of yourself, for sure.
Absolutely, and there's a stigma against people getting help. Be it a woman or a man too.
Yes,
That you're I don't even want to say the word weak, or but you're not. You're strong. You realize it. I think it makes you a stronger person when you say to yourself, "I need help. I need help. I
absolutely.
can't do this by myself."
Absolutely. And it takes courage to be able to say, you know what, I don't want to numb the pain. I want to work through it. I want to I want to move forward from this. And that's huge, right? Like that takes a lot of strength and courage. But I feel like that is, I would rather go down that route a million times than ever try to numb the pain with something externally. Because, it's maybe not substances. It could be eating disorders. It could be so many other things. But at the end of the day, you're still numbing that pain, right? So
Absolutely.
addiction.
And there's so much awareness too, like you called it holding space, somebody that wants to come and talk to you. I like to think of it as I'm a safe person. If somebody wants to talk to me, I'm a safe person. But
Exactly.
there's a point, I need awareness too, where I think I can't do this by myself. You do need some help. Let me help you find help. So
Absolutely.
as the safe person, as the person holding space, you got to know when you have to move on and say, listen, we're going to find you some help, and I'm the person, I will help you.
Absolutely. And, and a part of holding space too is having that conversation with them of that, like, are you wanting solutions or are you wanting comfort to your, whatever's going on? Because, so many times I get on a Zoom call with someone and they just kind of need a dump of what's
Yes.
going on. They don't, you can't get a word in edgewise anyway. And it's just, they feel so much better. But again, that's an energy exchange and they're dumping all of their so you have to do it with boundaries and you have to protect yourself too, right? But
Absolutely.
it's important to have those people in your life who can just hold space for you
That's right.
and people that you trust, right?
Yeah,
So
and it's like you say too, it's just I need to dump all this because I can't talk to somebody else because they're going to try and fix it. They're going to tell me, oh, you're fine.
yeah,
No, I
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
need
exactly,
somebody to listen. I need somebody to listen.
exactly,
Yeah,
absolutely, for sure.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And this is part of what you do too. What is it
Yeah,
you do? You can help people.
yeah. So I do NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming practitioner. So that's the language of the mind and how we process information as humans. I do time techniques, which is we look at the timeline of your life together, and we're able to go back and release where you started to, like, the root cause of your anxiety, the root cause of your depression, the root cause of certain behaviors or addictions in your life, and we can remove that. And then we come forward throughout, the future of your life until where you are now, and we release all of those points where you had a lot of high functioning, negative emotion, I'll call it, because it's not just, it's any negative thing that can impact you. And then there's EFT, which I've gone on and talked about too, and it's hitting, your meridian points within your body, and just saying affirmations that can clear that and again rewire your subconscious, which is, in a big picture, that's what I do. It's a transformational mindset coach. What else do I do? Oh, I do hypnotherapy, which is where we can just, and there's stigma around that too, right? So, because people have really misused it, which is unfortunately for entertainment purposes. But what it really is you relax the body, the conscious body, and you're able to talk directly to someone's subconscious mind.
Hmm.
And that's where we're really able to undo traumas and unlock your potential. And, so many things we can do with hypnotherapy, and life and success coaching in a big bubble. So that's kind of what I do. So, when it's Men's Mental Health Month, this definitely hits me, because I know so many men in our community struggling, and it's only rising, unfortunately, which is why self-help techniques are so important. Because if you're not going to take the action of being able to go and get help, it's important that you know yourself, of discovering what works for you. Like, maybe EFT isn't for you, but meditation is. Like, meditation and hypnotherapy are very much the same thing. I personally, when I'm out on the go and I get a hit of anxiety, because I'm human and it happens to me too, but I'll do a quick little EFT. And the quickest point to release, just release that stress hormone in your body is just by tapping on your heart space, taking some deep breaths, and that calms your nervous system quite a bit. And sometimes it takes people a little bit longer. Um, it's okay. Like, it's just stay with it and learn what works for you is really important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, we say the numbers are rising. Part of me wants to hope that the numbers are rising because those people are reaching out for help. That's why we know the numbers are rising.
I think that it really helps for us to talk about it so openly.
Yes.
Because therapy for anyone has a certain stigma to it. But it's really important, again, that we're taking care of ourselves. For me, I was actually in talk therapy throughout my transplant, like waiting for a heart. And for me personally, that didn't work for me. It was talking about the same stuff every week. I didn't feel like I was improving. If anything, it kind of just felt like a vent session. But I didn't really fix anything until I was through my transplant and I went through school. That I learned all of these techniques, and I'm like, oh my God, I wish that I had have known this so long ago. It would have helped me so much more.
Yeah.
But of course, it's an alternative therapeutic technique. So it's not your common everyday. But like with the time techniques, you can release like 15 years of trauma within a 5 to 10 minute technique. Like, it's unbelievable the results I have personally not only experienced for myself, but I've seen others. And I love watching people transform before my eyes, honestly. Right. I think that that's the best part of what I do. So I just want to help more people do that and unlock their traumas and different stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and it's like you say, you wish you knew, but when you know better, you do better. That's absolutely.
Exactly. It's one of those things where you're like, oh my God, why didn't I, instead of learning about X, Y, Z in math class, why wasn't I learning how to regulate my nervous system like way back then? Like, that would be so much more helpful.
Really, yes. Now, how would people get a hold of you if they need you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, all the things. I'm quite easy to find. I don't have a website right now because it was too much to deal with, and honestly, I got more inquiries through just social medias than I did anything. So just Facebook, Instagram, pretty easy to find. Adrianna Michelle. You can add me, or Live Life Awakened is my business name. So.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I thank you very much for joining us today as we move into the summertime, and we hope everybody has a great summer.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and hope everyone else has a good summer.
Thanks again. Adrianna Michelle.